YouTube, it's your boy Chris Anthony back at it again with another banger for your head top. So in this video, we're going to be recapping 2024. This has been by far my most productive year as a content creator. I went from barely having any followers on TikTok to almost 4K now. I went from barely having any subs on YouTube to now being halfway partnered and well on my way to being full partnered. I've just been taking advantage of the time and the tools that I have in front of me, finding out what works while also trying new things and seeing the results in real time. What a wild experience. Now, before I even continue with this video, I just want to thank every single person that supported me in any way, shape, or form this year. You guys seriously have no idea how much I appreciate you. Now, let's get to the recap of every game and experience that we went through in 2024. We started the year off with a highly recommended indie game called Firewatch, which came out in 2016 and has some of the best ratings for an indie game. After we finished that, I took advantage of my PS5 and played the game called The Last of Us 2. I was waiting for the remaster to drop to actually play, and let's just say I wasn't disappointed. It was during this playthrough that I made a bunch of new friends that stood around for the entire year. They're considered the TikTok OGs. Now, in the middle of my Last of Us 2 playthrough, two different co-op games came out that led to some of the best experiences of the year. The homies Landmine Fresco and my cousin Jovi joined me as we spent hours upon hours in Power World. And if I'm not mistaken, we started over about 4 to 5 times because of server issues, but we still enjoyed the game so much that we didn't mind it. And then the month after, Helldivers 2 dropped, and that led to another month of us just spending majority of our time leveling up and fighting for freedom. I kid you not, I started The Last of Us 2 in January and didn't finish the game until the beginning of April. Ooh. Oh man. Oh, they got me. You pieces of shit. They got me. Oh my God, bro. That led to the next series of games, a series I had kept my eye on for a while and finally got the trilogy on sale. The Mafia Trilogy, Definitive Edition to be exact. After playing the entire series, 2 needs a proper remaster or remake with updated graphics because it's by far the best story-wise. I honestly can't wait to see what they bring with the 4th installment next year. And then I figured, if I'm playing series, why not keep the ball rolling with a game I've played before? Detroit Become Human. My first playthrough, I had the worst ending possible, so the goal was to get the good ending. I was successful, but the itch of playing decision-based games hit me, and I needed to play the rest of the Quantic Dreams catalog. So I did. Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls were so good. I highly recommend them to anybody looking for a wild, interactive experience. Now, for a game I feel was snubbed from every award show and is ridiculously underrated, Harold Halibut. From the animation to the story to the gameplay, this game was nearly perfect to me. The claymation game with a fantastic story and take on life. And if you have not played this, it's in my top 3 games of the year. And it's not 3, so please do yourself a favor and check that one out. Unfortunately, we went from one of the best games I've ever experienced to easily one of the worst games of all time. Stray Souls was so bad, it was actually fun. What was meant to be a horror game ended up becoming a comedy, and I actually enjoyed my time with this horrendously put together game. From there, I sunk into the darkness and tried my first From Software game ever, Elden Ring, which is now one of my favorite games of all time. 2 straight months of Elden Ring into the Elden Ring DLC Shadow of the Erdtree. I couldn't believe I'd been missing out on an experience of this nature. I'm so glad I decided to try something new, and I do it again, but we'll talk about that later. Because after the 2 months of torturing myself, I decided I needed to take a break and dive into a good amount of indie titles. Those Who Remain, Returning to Grace, Close to the Sun, Lifeless Moon, all short but enjoyable experiences everybody should check out. Now the short break was over, and I decided I wanted to torture myself once more. We spent the next 2 weeks playing through From Software's Demon's Souls, another fun ride of depression. And like I said, I'll do it again, but we'll get to that later.
Fool, don't you understand? No one wishes to go on.
Nah, that's not the guy. Yo, Seb, that was the guy? Seb, you're joking. Seb, there's no...
work is done.
Once we finished with Demon Souls, there was another Sony exclusive I had yet to play my entire life, God of War. Don't judge me too harshly now. I know of the games and what they entitle, but I never got to experience them for myself. So after a catch-up of an hour-long YouTube video to understand the story more, I dive into God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok directly after. Playing them back to back made the story hit that much harder. I was not expecting an action-adventure RPG to make me cry like a baby, but here we are.
Atreus remains.
Oh, sh**. Oh! Whoa! Oh my God! Oh, that was good. Oh my goodness. He freaking left, man. Oh my God, that's... It was that line, son. Oof. My man said Loki will leave. Atreus will stay. Woof. That shit hurt it. Went from one of the greatest action RPG adventures to easily my new favorite action RPG adventure and my personal game of the year, Black Myth Wukong. I enjoyed this game so much, I played through it 4 times. I put out 100% guides to each chapter and then went to find more games coming out similar to it. Black Myth Wukong is the game that led to me getting partnered on YouTube, believe it or not. So not only was it an amazing gaming experience, it quite literally catapulted my YouTube, and for that, it'll hold a special place in my heart forever. Now, after all the action games, I decided I needed a longer break and found the series I actually wanted to dive into. So it was time for us to start the Life is Strange journey. All 4 games that were out at the time, Before the Storm, 1 and 2, and then True Colors, which turned me into a fan. Sure, the stories can be overly dramatic and a little cheesy, but it reminded me of TV shows and was overall a good quality experience. Even recently, I bought and played the newest installment, Double Exposure, and enjoyed that as well. October was finally among us, no pun intended, and it was time to dedicate the month to horror games. What better experience than the entire Dark Pictures catalog, including The Quarry. After that, I ended up playing one of my favorite horror games of all time. It was perfectly remade for new gen. The Dead Space remake was absolutely fantastic, and they couldn't have made it any better. With the spooky month over, it was time to get back to the torture. I made the decision to play the rest of From Software's catalog back to back to back to back. So for the final 2 months of the year, we ran through Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, into Bloodborne, and then ended it off with Sekiro. I thoroughly enjoyed my experience with all the games and meeting all the fantastic people that helped guide me through my first playthroughs. We ended the last 2 months off extremely strong. I also want to give mention to the games I played off stream, or were one and done, or I made a YouTube series instead. Me and the homies played through games like Sons of the Forest, Abiotic Factor, Harry Potter's Quidditch Champions, Lethal Company, Chained Together, Rumble Club, and Pico Park 2, as well as doing a live reaction to the 2024 Game Awards. Other horror games I played were Fears to Fathom, Some Chiller's Art, Silvio Black Waters, and Poppy's Playtime. Other indie titles I played through were Sheepy, A Short Adventure, A Star Named EOS or EOS, Unleaving, Flathead, The Last Shot, and Creatures of Ava. So much games that I've played throughout the year, so many things that we experienced together as a unit. From the bottom of my heart, I just want to thank you all for an amazing year. I hope to see you in 2025 because the grind doesn't stop and the gaming never ends. I'm Chris Anthony, signing out of 2024. You know the vibes, baby. Yeah.